Welcome back to Social Life in Peel. I'm Jamie Reynolds. Joining me in the studio are Ray McMillan and Bridget Chung, and we're going to talk mortgages. Guys, thank you for joining us in the studio. Let's start off with a little bit of an introduction. Ray, tell us about yourself and what is it that you do?
I'm Ray McMillan. I'm actually a mortgage agent. I'm licensed for the last 14 years. I've been in the business for the last 19 years. Spent a few years with one of the major financial institutions, and I transitioned into being self-employed in 1999, and I've been doing it continuously since then. What I basically do is arrange mortgages for anybody who's looking to buy real estate, whether it's a condominium, commercial property, single-family home, or land. I liaison with lenders, be it banks, trust companies, credit unions, mortgage companies, and even private individuals who have large sums of money to arrange the financing.
So in a sense, it's kind of like, I wouldn't say maybe a middleman, but more like a facilitator between people and the financial institutions before they actually buy a home.
That's correct, yeah.
Okay, and Bridget, what is it that you do? Is it too hard to explain what a realtor does? You guys sell houses.
Exactly, we sell houses, but it's a bit more than just selling houses, especially from a buyer's perspective, since we're talking about mortgages today. It's helping the person find the right place. Every situation in life, your first-time home buyer, your move-up buyer, or you're somebody downsizing, requires something slightly differently. And each situation, budget means a different thing. So we actually almost handhold, but help you through the whole process and get you to that successful home.
Now, general question to both you guys: are either of you homeowners?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, great, because I was expecting you guys to be, but if you weren't, that was going to be okay as well. Now, I want to know, what's the relationship between a real estate agent or realtor and a mortgage broker? How do you guys work together in tandem?
Okay. What I like to, the client starts first with Ray, because Ray then gives me a budget, basically. And that's really what I look for. I need to know, am I buying somebody a house in 100,000, 200,000, like whatever it is.
So it all first starts off with your eligibility.
Even if they come to me directly first, I ask about going to a mortgage broker first. And I need to know that number before we can get in the car. Here's the reason why. The real estate market today is so hot that if we go in and we need to put an offer in, I need to know you have money. We don't need to, we only have like a 5-day, I can only do a conditional in 5 days to figure out whether you qualify for the money. And what's the point of going through all of that, making the deal fall through?
Now, what do you mean by have money? Do you mean earnings or savings?
Well, what I actually mean is that you have been qualified from the bank, that they will loan you whatever amount of money it is we need to buy that house.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because now we're going to talk to Ray about qualifying. What is that? What does that all mean? If I come to you and I'm like, I want to buy a house, and you tell me I have to qualify, I'm like, you mean take a test?
Well, you call it a test, actually. There's three things we look at. One is your credit rating. Second is your income. And the next is your down payment. So in today's market, you need at least 5% down payment to purchase a home. So we need to make sure you have that money available, or either it's through your savings or it's a gift from your parents, or you're selling a home to buy a new one. Next is your income and employment. If you're self-employed, can you prove income satisfactorily to the lender? If you have an employer, then you need your job letters and pay stubs to substantiate what the actual income is. Then your credit rating. Is your credit satisfactory to the lender? Every lender has their own minimum credit requirements. If you're going to be insured by one of the default insurers, which is CMHC or Canada Guarantee, they also have minimum requirements. So we go through the entire credit report, make sure there's no outstanding issues that need to be addressed. Collections, slow payments, etc. And once that is fine, I submit the application to a lender, get it pre-approved, and then I contact Bridget and says, we've got you approved for $250,000 based on your current situation.
I see.
Yeah.
Now, Bridget, you mentioned that right now that the market in Canada is hot, the real estate market. Now, I don't know too much about the whole meltdown of 2008, but I do know a little bit, and that it was started because of people getting houses being approved for mortgages that they shouldn't have been approved for. Now, in Canada, we were lucky to avoid most of that crisis. But how is it that our market is still hot, or is it just starting to warm up?
Well, part of the reason right now what we're having a problem is that there's what we call low inventory. There's not that many homes. People who are currently homeowners, some of them are actually deciding to stay longer. So the actual inventory is low, and that's when you have multiple buyers saying, well, I want that. And you've heard of the multiple bids. I'm sure you've heard of those.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm saying it's moving quickly. The market is not slow at all. Plus, the mortgage rates are still very favorable. They're quite low. So more people can afford it.
Great. Now, more people are buying homes, as you guys say. What are people looking for? What are some hot trends that are happening in 2014 so far? Or perhaps maybe the trends that ended off 2013. What are people looking for in their homes?
Today, people are still looking for open concept. A lot of people like the more modern open concept, bigger kitchens, the kitchen to the kind of living room open area, because that's where everybody entertains. It all becomes one kind of organic space. Mm-hmm. Gone are, I find, the formal dining rooms of maybe your grandmother's house, if you remember those.
Or my mother.
Oh, your mother. And the dining space, where you have the dining rooms, those are, in some houses, more of the move-up market, they want the bigger dining room. If not, everybody wants a kind of an open concept type of thing.
And who are buying homes? Is it younger people, older people, new immigrants to Canada? Who are these home buyers that we're hearing about buying these properties?
Everybody's buying. There are multiple markets. In the condo markets, a lot of young buyers and investors, new immigrants also. Even foreign residents are buying properties in Toronto because it's an active market. The prices are pretty favorable compared to other larger cities in the world. We're still very affordable when you compare what the price of a condo is here in Toronto compared to London, New York, Paris, California. Then you've got the young families who are looking for that, small detached home with a backyard for their kids. Then you have people who are downsizing. The person who's retired, they sometimes can't climb the stairs anymore. They prefer to go into a bungalow, or in some cases go into a condominium. So there's something there. I mean, it's all across the board. There's not every area. It's very active. I've got clients in every age range, from 24-year-olds who are buying their first place to clients who are in their mid-60s who are either downsizing. So it's a pretty active market.
Wonderful. Now, I'm glad you mentioned condos, because you mentioned it like 3 times. So that must mean it's on your mind. Now, is there some kind of competition? Because I look in the skyline and I see that there might be an oversaturation of condominiums being built. Is there a competition between condos and traditional detached homes or semi-detached homes or townhomes? Do you guys notice that happening, or is it pretty much even? Is there too many condos, is what I'm asking?
I don't think there's too many condos being built in Toronto. That's just my opinion. I mean, there's not that much land available in the downtown Toronto core, so you can't go this way anymore. You got to go up. You can't make a lateral movement. So where you can go up into the skies. Out in the 905 area, it's not as common. There are a few in Woodbridge, and they limit the height, how high they go. I think it's probably 9 stories high in Woodbridge. They don't go much higher than that. There's a few in Markham also, in Thornhill. But the condo trend is primarily a downtown trend. One, because you've got good transit. You've got 24-hour transit. You've got the subway system, which you don't have as effectively and efficiently out in Mississauga, Brampton, and other 905 area codes. But I think it's a trend that's going to be around for a long time. It's also affordable. I mean, the younger buyer who just finished university is more often than not priced out of the market.
Right. They got to pay back their debts.
Yeah, they got to pay back their student loan debts. They can't really qualify for that detached home in Mississauga or Brampton. And the condo at $250,000 or $300,000 is probably what they will qualify for initially.
Now, quickly before we go, we have just 40 seconds left. What are some of the benefits to having a mortgage, having that debt? I heard people say equity. What's equity mean?
Equity is what you build up in a home after you buy it. Is there a benefit having a mortgage? I wouldn't say there's a benefit having a mortgage. I mean, if you could buy your home mortgage free, that makes a lot of sense. But the mortgage actually facilitates you buying probably the most expensive purchase in your life.
Okay, Ray, I'm going to have to stop there. We've run out of time. But I'm glad you guys came to talk. I hope you guys can come back. That's it for today.